there are just doing their undergrad school, be it engineering or be it business program. All right, or maybe there may be here and there a couple of other attendees. So can I start now? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me, Subha?
Yes, I can hear you, Sam. Go on.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so good evening from India and good afternoon to Shubhaji in London in UK. I'm sure it's 2:30 p.m. for you and 7 p.m. for us in IST. We, along with our students, we want to welcome you. And I really appreciate all the students because from tomorrow and this week, they have their exams. And today is the last instruction day for them. And all the students are taking course under me, MGT 1002, which is called as Lean Startup Management. My overall objective of this course is to ensure that all of them know that there's beyond job. They can be on their own. They can start employment. They can start giving jobs like you. And oh God, so many things. Yeah. And I'm so happy today, dear participants, wherever you're listening from, just give me a raise of hands or virtual thumbs up if you're able to hear my voice very clearly. Yeah. Just give a raise of hand or thumbs up, or somebody can unmute and quickly say, hey, I can hear you. Quick. Is my audio clear?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, audible.
Yes, no, no, yes. Sorry, बोला है मेरे
Yeah,
Aditya?
yes, sir. We can hear you.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Thank you all. Yeah. So we have Subha Ganesh ji. Proud that they're from India, but almost settled in the UK. And I guess Shubhaji, you have two houses, one in London, one in Geneva,
Yeah.
if I'm not wrong, because sir keeps hopping, and Ganesh, sir, the better half husband of ma'am, he works for World Health Organization and United Nations project. You know what is the role of WHO now during the pandemic? Yeah. So a very good story. I have an interview with Mr. Ganesh sir. It's an amazing interview. I've ever been inspired. It's on YouTube. I will share, and I am so happy to meet Subha Ganesh ma'am today. And I think so we met almost a year back, or I don't know. Is it over a year, Subhaji?
Yeah, about a year, right? We did the event together.
Yeah, it's over a year. Yeah. So yeah, I was so inspired that I would like you to share with the students, and there are so many students who are passionate about getting into entrepreneurship. So Shubhaji, over to you. First, let's start like this. You tell us about your background, because you never did anything on entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You studied totally something different, worked in IT. Tell us a little bit about your Indian story and tell us how did you land up in London. Then we'll go with your startup. Then I'll show your startup story. Yeah. Over to
Sure.
you.
Sure. No worries. So I think I was about 5, 6 years or something when I really started like, oh, I want to become a pilot. That's the first job I actually thought about, to be frank. And
You want to become a pilot?
yeah. And the only reason I knew at
Okay.
6 years was that that's the only person who is actually above everyone else, right? It's in the sky and you're above. So I think the
Oh.
intention of my gravitation was always being on to be on the top. And as a child, it was always pilots because they are on the top. I realized I have to say, like, physics was not my greatest strength subject. And I realized I need to do physics. And I think about 11 years or something, I decided I'm going to become a business person. And I wanted to have my own company. I wanted to have this corner office with loads of phones on the table. Trust me, at a 10, 11-year-old, that was the dream. I didn't know what becoming an entrepreneur was. But the reason I'm saying this is the consistency of what when I actually fixed my mind around that time, and the journey took a long and different path. But the whole path was been the amazing learning process in overall. So I did commerce because I realized that if you need to do business, you need to be good in your finance, you need to go be good in numbers. So I ended up doing my BCom and MBA. So I got married. I'm just going to cut short quite a lot, guys, here. But I did my MBA in finance and marketing. It was a dual specialization. And then I ended up actually meeting Ganesh, my better half, as Samuel said, and a very great inspirational person. So Ganesh and I got married. It wasn't intentional, but I can't say this to my son. But I did become pregnant. So I decided, or we decided together, that we are going to go ahead with our having the baby. Now again, that was the biggest first setback if I think about me as a career person, right? So I wanted to actually finish my college and start my work, but there was a stop. But I think it didn't stop me. It didn't actually give me like, oh my god, what am I going to do? I thought after the baby I can still continue working. And then Ganesh gave me my next second biggest shock in life, that we are actually moving to UK. Now, it was a new country. I have absolutely no experience of working, and UK is predominantly known for having work experience as a student. So I'm coming in with zero experience, and I have these 20, 22-year-olds who have like 3, 4 years of experience already in their CV. Um, but I think I was referring in the previous conversation in an interview the same topic. There's a book, if you guys, and I know Sam, we have spoken about it. My biggest inspirational book is, if you ever read something, read the book called "How You Got Here Is Not How You." Sorry. Oh God, I forgot the
What
title.
got you here won't get you
What,
there.
yes, what got
What
you
got you
here?
here won't get you there.
Exactly. So, what got you here won't get you there is an amazing book. If you ever in your summer holidays, if you want to read it, it actually tells you what to identify your actual strength and explore that and get into the next level. But when you get into your next level, that may not be the skill that is going to get you, and you need to develop your next level. For example, when I was searching for my job, I realized my biggest strength is I can actually speak my way through anything, and I'm very quick with adapting to people. And my technical skill was not my skill, because I've left my university. I took a 2 years break for having kids, and I can't ever claim that I'm a student or an experienced person. So I was in this interview, my very first interview, and the guy said to me, "Oh, you don't have experience. You have a 2 year break in your career." It was on the spot thinking. I just told him, "Yeah, you know what? You don't need to give me a maternity break. Any woman would have actually got. Now I'm here after finishing, and yeah, you can have me for next 3 years without a break, at least bare minimum." And I think he liked the way I answered spontaneously or whatever. He gave me the job, even though he rejected me initially. And then he called me and said, "I couldn't reject you. I want to give you the offer." That was my beginning of my career in UK. And I ended up doing that job for 2 years and then moved on to digital marketing, which was what I wanted to do. So initial was it was more like a cold calling call center task. Now, again, that's another biggest thing that I realized for myself is I am in UK without any accent, and I first job I did was call center. He gave me the option. I said yes, and then I called up Ganesh and said like, "Oh my god, I don't know whether I can even understand what the other person is saying. How am I going to do this job?" So I just jump first, and then I think my way out. That's how it got me my first role, at least. Um, and then I realized that I can become, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, as I said, but there are two paths to entrepreneurship, like paths that you can take, right? Either you finish your MBA, get an idea, launch yourself, and then work hard towards getting a trust in the market as an expert on whatever you're trying to do. Or you do a work, you become an expert, you have the trust already in the market, and then launch your business. And I actually thought, being in a new country and everything, I wanted to take the latter path. So I ended up becoming a marketing professional. Worked in UK in all the most of the digital agency top agencies in London International Global Digital Marketing for almost 7 years. And then I went into doing my in-house roles a little bit for 2 3 years, and then I launched my first consulting business. I still have that live. It's called Digital Confluent. Digital Confluent is a digital marketing consulting arm that I work. So I usually started advising startups on their business strategy, on their marketing strategy, how to fundraise, etc. And I did that for almost 2 years. It's now I've just stopped my consulting time, and it's become more marketing agency. And I started launching my own business, which is NoshyCircle, that Sam showed earlier as a website. Uh, Now, again, I believe business is something that, when the right opportunity and the right time clicks in. So I've been thinking about starting a food tech for a long time, but it never clicked on. Like I couldn't get like what is it that is filling a gap in the market. I do know that traditional food is what is going to be the thing, but how to put it or operational strategy was something that I didn't lock it in exactly when COVID happened. And it was a very brainstorming session because I was working in the consulting business, and I used to be like waking up at 6 o'clock, get my kids ready in front of computer for their classes because the school was happening in Zoom, and then I used to start my work, and in between of that I had to cook. And first 2 weeks of lockdown, me and Ganesh were breaking our head onto how we are going to manage this, and then I realized that this is not helping. So I took first part of the day off, or like I didn't work. Ganesh used to concentrate, and I do the latter part of the day. Um, One day when we were just having food, I was just saying to him like, how amazing it will be like if we had a platform which is like homemade cook, and if I can go and collect, get a takeaway delivery for lunch and dinner. I can just don't have to worry about it being an unhealthy food, or I'm buying from a restaurant to give my kids every day. And that was about in February, March 2020 that we discussed. And surprisingly, Sam, it was a very good day today because today is my first anniversary of NoshyCircle. We launched the business
Wow.
as a company, registered the company on the same day last year. So the idea came in. I realized what I wanted to do. I know how to make it happen because I know a couple of cooks in this local area who used to come to my house, or I know they do Facebook advertising, etc. And then, but then there are quite a lot of formalities because UK is very strict about legal regulations of how a cook can join up. So I had to learn quite a lot on the regulation part of it. It took me about 3 months to understand exactly how to crack in and what are the gaps, and then we kind of got the development for the app. I think I briefed my tech team in August and gave them 3 months for launching the app. And I also started setting up relationship with the council, and we call as FSA, which is Food Safety Authority in UK, and launched about in November end. I think 23rd we launched the app, and government announced lockdown on second lockdown on 25th of November. Give or take, it was a
Cool.
blessing for us as a business. Sorry, Sam.
Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can continue. I
Okay.
thought should I you can finish and then we'll go with the Q&A.
Yeah, yeah. So it was
Is that
blessing in disguise in some way because food again, people became busy and they had to work from home, etc., and they started doing takeaway. So for us as a food tech platform business, COVID was a very good timing for expansion. But at the same time, it wouldn't have happened without a strong operational strategy because you had to look at the logistics, and even the cooks have to work, and how we convinced our customer that we are COVID protected, etc., was a bigger strategy of communication and operations, excellence. So Sam, that's my quick overview of till date now.
Sure. Now, can you tell us, your life in UK and the
Mhm.
lockdown? And can I just take this 1 minute? I'll let them talk. Let them. So where are we? Can I share the screen?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I
somebody tell
can't.
me, is this screen shared? Yeah. Just tell me. Give me a second. I think so. There we go.
Mhm.
I guess I do have your website. Yeah. Tell me if it is on the screen. Yeah. Others, can somebody
Yeah,
tell me?
yeah.
NOSHY.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. So please take us through your. This is your website, and you started this on a lockdown. You did not study your, I don't know, food or technology and whatever. And
Yeah.
what else? You just tell us what is this? Okay. Let me go about. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
So, as I said, like food. I mean, me, and I'm very passionate about food. I love eating, by the way, and I want really good food. And at the same time, I'm also very conscious. I'm a very busy professional when it comes to my, daytime with a management consulting job because I had to meet up people at 8 o'clock and sometimes finish most of the deals. I know in UK, I know you will know that most of the deals finish in the pubs more than in the meeting room. So we actually, I mean, there is a set of women group founders group. We are actually saying take the meeting to in the meeting room. That's the hashtag we are
Wow.
trying to do because it's such a cultural thing that being a woman, you want to get back to work, home, and you want to spend time. But most of the handshakes are offline in the pubs or golf club, which generally women as a woman I don't have time to go to or do, and I have to find time for that. But I
Wow.
mean, having said that, I'm coming, as you can see in the about page, I'm coming
What is
from a
this
family.
picture? Back there's a story behind the story in this picture, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
can you walk us through? Can
I,
you walk us through?
I'm coming from a family who is restaurant owners. So this is the picture that you can see in the screen is my maternal grandfather. That restaurant is in Annamalai University in Chidambaram, if anyone know. And this was his inauguration picture, which was in 1960. So that's the food. So my both sides of my grandparents used to have restaurants. My maternal grandfather still, I mean, his restaurant has been taken over by his son. I mean, my uncle now, and he's running it in Chennai at the moment. My paternal grandfather had restaurant, but all his kids have taken up other jobs, so they closed it down. But it is always all my summer vacation has been in Chidambaram, going there into the restaurant and spending my time helping out in the cash counter or in the kitchen. So I'm coming, and surprisingly, it wasn't intentional, but it so happened that Ganesh is also from a restaurant family. So both his grandparents also used to do restaurants. So Ganesh loves cooking. I mean, our combination is so good. Ganesh loves cooking, and I love eating. There you go. It's a marriage made in heaven. Um,
Okay,
so
so can you tell us, walk us through? You're in UK and you're in London, and the food habits are totally different. How did you manage this AKG biryani house and this biryani thing? How did it come? Number one, how did you bring technology to it? Number
yeah,
three, talk us through during lockdown. How did you manage this business model? The
yeah,
business model. Yeah, over to you.
yeah.
You want me to
So
show something in specific, or can I stop? You want to show specifically something here?
no, that's it. Actually, we
Blog
don't.
or
Website is only in place, or in the sense, a website
okay.
is an informational. We actually have an app. The transaction is through the app more than the website. So we have our content strategy or content marketing where we use the website as of now. But the website transactional website is launching in 2 weeks' time. Where we started thinking about both having simultaneously website and the app built. But to answer your
Sure.
questions,
I gave your website I gave your website on the chat,
yeah,
so people can take it. Now you can talk us through how did you build technology,
Yeah.
and what we discussed yesterday, like how these students can be a part of your internships, global internships, and whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
technology part. Yes.
Yeah. So technology, I mean, you need to remember, I'm actually not an technology background, right? I'm a marketer, and when I was thinking about business, I was like, hey, if I can sell others' product, why wouldn't I sell my own product and make myself earn money? And however, when I got into technology and I actually launched, I've done my AI, so I'm an AI specialist in marketing. So I do machine learning and AI programming for marketing purposes, upsells, cross sell, strategy, etc. But never as a platform business. And for the first time, I mean, anyone who have been here and looked at platform, let me tell you, it's like running three different businesses. Because one side you have cook acquisition, like exactly you said, AKG biryani. Identifying these women out there was the biggest challenge, because not necessarily these are your restaurant which is already established and you're just giving a call and saying I'm having this new app, come and join us. These are women who are between you, your neighbor, and we had to find those people who are passionate enough to do this as a business. And it took more time. I know some of our competitor in the market has gone through the route of getting chefs who were furloughed during this period of lockdown and try to get them. But personally, I was very clear that that's a very short-sighted strategy, because once the restaurant lockdown gets finished, chefs would like to go back, and then their kitchens become a weekend-only kitchen or part-time. And I wanted something where the customers can have consistently an option to buy and have multiple options to buy as well. So we started looking at people like, I mean, using channels like Facebook groups. There are a lot of women associate groups around that we actually reached out to. We reached out to church around. We reached out to temples. We said we are bringing this. This is a new thing because we are empowering women. And trust me, 97% of the women who are in the platform today, which is about 40 of them are live today in 4 micro markets, and the 97% of them used to be economically inactive before this app was launched. So they were very qualified people, but they actually didn't do anything in their career because they wanted to take care of their family, and they have also migrated from different parts to UK, and didn't have any support system to take care of childcare, etc. So now, because this app is something that is enabling them to become an entrepreneur by being at their home and start their business from their home and don't have to get out of their house, and we provide the logistics support. So we go collect the food and deliver it to the customer. For them, it was like, hey, I'm just doing my passionate thing, which is cooking food. So that was the biggest thing. So we try to motivate, we try to get the women who were passionate about cooking, who saw this um, as an identity for themselves, because they were feeling that, hey, I'm not doing anything, I'm just a housewife. And Sam, this is one sentence I used to hear quite a lot in UK. Rightly you pointed out, being in UK, I used to run an women's group in a local community for Indian moms, called Connect Moms. And basically the idea was that when you come in new to a country and you don't have family around, it's very important that you need to have that connection where you can meet people and learn from each other and understand the country where you are coming in, right? I went through the problem because I didn't have such a platform, and this was way before Facebook groups and things were coming in. This was in I think I launched this in 2008, when we had the
That
Connect
was
Month.
just the boom of social media. That
Yeah.
was just, yeah.
So we had about 5,000 people members in the group. We used to have regular Diwali and other Indian cultural things. So we used to do drama scripts where the kids would learn about the culture. That was a way of teaching kids the back in India culture without forcing that as a learning, or like forcing them into something, but learning it as a fun, because they loved doing this drama script. and they learned many things. Like for example, we one year I think we did a Diwali different stories around the India why Diwali is being celebrated, and the kids actually have to go do their research and come up with the state that we have chosen for them, why they are doing. So it was a good learning process, and we did this entire the boom. And one thing that constantly I used to get nagging feeling was when women come into these meeting and say, oh, I'm only an housewife. And I was like, we used to introduce, we used to do the pass the parcel, and they had to introduce themselves, and they will say their name, and they will say, I'm only a housewife. So I used to tell them, let's start from the beginning. I'll make them do that exercise until they tell me what is their name, what they love doing, what their hobbies are, instead of saying I'm only a housewife. Because I strongly believe housewife or anything is not your identity, and it has to be coming out. I think that same strategy is what I took into my business as well, because I have these women sitting around who are really talented at home, who really want to prove themselves but don't have a platform. And this was a right way to launch and reach out to them through these women network group and come. That has been the strategy during the lockdown, because you don't have an in-house meeting or anything that I can go and attract these people. So we use the power of social media and local community and school network to get as many people adding up as a cook into the platform.
Wow. Now, could you tell us how does your technology work? You're sitting at home, you develop an app,
Yeah,
and you started making business sitting
yeah.
at home. I want you to answer. Are these people who are working for you are Indians in the UK,
Uh,
or are they non-Indians? And how much are they able to get per week? Maybe 100 pounds, 80 pounds, or I don't know. Because of you, you're empowering others
yeah.
uh, to make the living in the lockdown. So can you tell us a little bit about technology and who are the chefs, are they Indians, and how did you get this market?
Yeah, sure. So, in terms of technology, okay, let's concentrate on technology. The technology stakes are, we are scaled up. We are not given any, leverage. I use the technology stack, which is the current React. We have React JS, and also we did the Firebase app system. So Marel, if anybody know that one. So that's what the stake we use. I have an India team who is technology. So I got India. I was very clear that our Indian team are technically very strong. If I give them the right brief, they can actually get things done. So one of the unique features that we have that none of the other people in the competition has been able to crack in yet is the multi-kitchen single order scenario. So we in our platform, because I mean the home cooks are unlike a
Can you,
restaurant.
Shobha, can you please repeat that? Multi-kitchen?
Multi-kitchen in single order. So say for example that,
Multi-kitchen in single order.
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
please.
generally, if
Okay.
you go to Swiggy or Zomato, I think in Chennai, I think it's still single kitchen. So you will be able to go to Swiggy. You will order from one restaurant, and you finish the transaction. And most of the apps that are currently there in UK are the similar pattern. So you go into one restaurant, or even if it is a home cook one, you go to one kitchen and you can complete a transaction. But what we realized, I think this is the strength of being a woman as well. When I designed the product, I realized that a cook will not be able to do more than, let's say, two or three items simultaneously if they have n number of order at a time. So we did the stimulation work, and we know that if they have five each of three different dishes, the kitchen collapse, because the women can't actually cook at that fast speed at what the delivery expectations will be. So what we did is ask them to do a very small dishes, like three or four different varieties, but instead we actually started the journey from search. For the customer's point journey, we started asking. We designed the technology that they actually select a particular category of food, let's say pizza or you want biryani, and then you open up, there will be like five or six different kitchens who are doing biryani, rather than starting from the kitchen. which was very unique. And which the Indian team actually, I threw this challenge to them, and it took us some time to crack it. That's why, I mean, the app was supposed to launch in October, got delayed because of the backend API connections that need to be done in multiple checks for this multi-kitchen scenario. Um, but that's like crucial things. So the technology, we have app built already for a cook's perspective, we have an app from a customer perspective, we have an app where they can go and purchase. Logistics point, we have an app which is actually connects the drivers. So one of the biggest, I am if you guys haven't read about it, I would say please go and have a look at it. There is an typical case, law case, which was Uber versus the drivers, where the system was actually, because gig economy is becoming so popular, the cooks, I mean, the drivers actually challenged Uber, saying they are not getting compensated enough, because if they have a sick leave or anything, they are not being given the benefit, whereas they are being treated like an employee. And their argument was that I don't determine the price of the taxi travel, it is determined by Uber. I don't determine which customer I'm going to serve, because that's also determined by the platform, and I don't have any contact or contact details of the customer, because I'm just going and dropping them in a certain location. And hence I'm not a gig driver, I'm not a contractor or a freelancer, I'm more an employee, because I've been given a task and asked to be in a certain location on a certain day. And Uber lost this case because the government, the law actually agreed that these drivers are right. They're being treated like an employee, even though it is saying as a gig employment. So they said people like Uber are actually benefiting or exploiting these gig drivers. So one thing we did in our technology when we are building it up is where actually the driver determines what is the maximum rate that he's ready to go. And likewise, I'm saying the ulta, sorry. The driver actually determines the minimum wage he's ready to do a job with, and the kitchens actually determine the maximum delivery cost that they are ready to pay. And we actually match up the people accordingly. So we don't actually determine the price, we don't do anything, but we connect both of them. And the algorithm just works out the distance and the rate to determine which driver is going to get which job assigned to them based on their requirements. So this is a third part of the development we had to do in terms of technology. So that's like three different business running simultaneously, if you think about it as an independent programming or designing and thinking process on logistics. I mean, the entire operation that I had to look at for. And so yes, I think I'm going to continue. It's always going to be an India team when it comes to technology, Sam. India team right now, the topmost designer, topmost developer, software developer gets anywhere sitting in a small village in Kerala because he wanted to be with his family out there and he's relocated. I'm paying him about 75 lakhs to 100K monthly, whereas the junior most
Please tell us. This is the most important thing, which my students will be so inspired. The payment
yeah,
paisa. Okay.
yeah.
Please tell us in pounds, and I will immediately, do a, uh, conversion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a
I
programmer in India, how
please.
much are you paying?
I pay in Indian rupees to them, so I can. My contract is with them. His salary is being determined in Indian rupees because I have an Indian entity that I employ them with. So my senior
Good.
most developer, as I said, the team lead is getting 75,000 rupees and 200,000 because there are two people in two different scales on a monthly basis.
Okay. 100,000 means in our Indian local
1 lakh,
language, 1 lakh
1
rupees.
lakh, yes.
Laksha. One
Yes.
lakh rupailu. Okay. So, sitting at home, you're giving this.
Yes,
Sitting
sitting
at
in
home,
Wayanada in
work
a
from home.
village. Yes, right now they are Wayanada sitting in the home.
Oh, goodness. So, my dear students, I hope you got the most important thing. right? That you can still work for a startup, you can still be at home, and you can earn something around 75K to 100,000, which is 1 lakh in INR.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Um,
tell us more about how much students can earn, what they can do, because they're so talented. They are developers, they're designers, you name it, app
yeah.
developers. So how
My
can these young,
my
future,
junior
talented kids
developer.
have future? Yeah.
Yeah. My junior most developer in India team is actually paid 50,000, 45 to 50,000 rupees a month. So that's my junior most resource. I mean, I'm coming from a background or culture. I don't know why there is a misconception of startups. One thing I tell my entire management team is that my biggest asset is not the technology I built, because trust me, in a month or 2 months or 3 months time, there's going to be another person coming and developing something much better faster than what I develop, because there is a start point to something. But my biggest asset is the people, because if I can convince and I can actually retain the best talent in the team, that's when I'm going to keep on progressing and going ahead. And no technology is finished. The day I say that, oh, I built my platform, that's it, we have done everything I wanted, that's the start of the day of end of my product, because that's when I stop thinking what next. And that's that I think is the most scariest thing for me. So I need the best team to always challenge and push the boundary. They have a start point, but they need to start pushing, and that can't happen if I don't have the right talent in the right place. And if that means I need to get the right salary paid, then that's the way that I would do. In fact, we have a lot of employee benefits. So we have partnership with a company called Heka, which is an employee benefit one, where we give them 3,000 rupees monthly cash that they can spend on anything from class to develop themselves, or a gym, or they some of them actually are, because you can carry over that for up to 3 months. So some of my team actually carried over for 3 months and bought their Fitbit from the platform. So we do give them a cash benefit on top of their salary. We do have medical and life insurance cover for them. And we have monthly ones out of office meeting where we go and spend the day off and thinking about strategy for the next month, etc. So yeah, trust me, guys, work in a startup, because we think about team more.
Wow. Now, my question is, uh, two quick questions. What do you expect from a fresher? See, my kids who are now attending you, and there are a couple of faculty members also. These are just freshers,
Yeah,
but I'm sure meeting people like you and getting some insights and relating to the course.
yeah,
Can you tell us what do you expect from a fresher? Because you said for a fresher in India in a remote place, you're paying some 50K, and then it goes for a senior to 75, and then to 100,000, which is 1 lakh in INR. Yeah.
yeah,
Even
yeah.
though you're sitting in UK and you have your, so what do you expect? What are the skill sets? Hey, Sam, one, two, three, four, A, B, C, D. Come on, so that they make a note of it.
Yeah, definitely. I want any startup, I mean, any employee in my company to be curious first. Ask more questions, be curious, be creative. Don't shy back from saying your thoughts, because I think that's very important. And I believe in being candid with your, whether it is with me or whether the team. I think soft skills, Sam, is one thing that I felt, and I'm saying this in a very emphatic way, because I actually work with Indian team. And one thing I realized, and it took a lot of time for me to adapt from being in UK to the Indian. One thing I realized is that India team were always very good in doing things that has been given to them. They never challenge, or they will never ask, or never come up with a question of why are we doing this, or why wouldn't we do this way. They might know the answer, they might be knowing a different way of doing it, but they just stay back, and they just stop themselves from asking that question, and they actually just end up implementing. And when things go wrong, they will be, I actually thought this might have happened. I'm like, yep, but think that before and tell me why we will fail. when we are planning, because then we can actually work on making sure that we are not failing. Not tell me after we have failed that you thought that is going to happen, because that's of no use to anyone. But I think that is my biggest thing. Think, come up, understand, and then speak up. I think is the big thing that I would say, Sam, and all the students. Well, I mean, I'm going to say a very, very silly example here. Probably for me, it was a very silly moment, but I'm going to say this example. I had a team member from India. He's very talented. He's 12-year experience. He is a senior guy. And this is in my marketing agency. And we were looking at it. He shared it. I said, yes, everything looks fine. Please go ahead and go live ASAP on this one. Um, this was Mother's Day campaign, and I forgot about it. 2 days later, I didn't see it being active, and I called him up and I said like, hey, what happened? I can't see this being active yet. And he said, I thought I was very clear. I said, everything is fine. What happened? Is there any issue? And he said, oh, you said ASAP, but we didn't discuss whether ASAP today or tomorrow. And I was like, seriously? uh, but that's the thing, because if I told him like go live anytime from now, and check this every 1 hour or 2 hours, if I give a clear full sentence instructions, they were getting it. And if I give an open-ended question, if they had a doubt about it, they will not come and ask me immediately. And please, that is one thing I believe I've seen where they are actually being pulled down quite a lot.
All right. So why don't we do this now? I would like to now call up for let's have a quick 5 to 10 minutes, and then before we wind up, I would open up for the students now. All right, and if they can quickly switch on the camera and straight talk to Subha Ganesh ma'am, ask your questions from a student point of view. All right, quick, yeah, it's over to you guys. Anyone, unmute yourself, raise your hand, or whatever. Yeah, quick, quick. Can you hear? Somebody saying Lakshmi Bhavani or something?
Thank you, ma'am. It was a nice section to interact with.
Thank you, Allah. I think it's Allah
Who is
Lakshmi.
this? I can't hear.
Yeah, ma'am.
Who's that? I'm looking for chat.
Lakshmi.
Okay, Lakshmi.
Yeah, Lakshmi.
Okay, Lakshmi. Yeah. Bezwada Yashwanti, are you there? We have BBA students also. It's a mix of BBA and engineering, because I thought anybody can, even though they have the exams, they took time to, come on in, and then others they can get back to your video interview later. But yeah, where is Bezwada Yashwanti? Yeah, can you quickly unmute and put up a question? And then Hemashri after that, and then Akash. Yeah, quick. Even because of rains, there is a little challenge here and there. I know
No.
some people tested me. Yeah. Gaurav, are you there? Gayatri?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yes. Hi. Tell your name, please.
Yeah.
Yashwanti, ma'am.
Ashwanti, can you just turn on
Ma'am,
your
I
camera
really
just
found
for Ashwanti, can you just turn on only for the discussion, and then you can close up. Yeah. So that ma'am can see you.
sorry, sir, but here it's raining and I can't. My internet
Okay. Okay.
connectivity
We
is
can
very
hear you. You
poor.
can carry on. You can carry on. Ask your question. Introduce about yourself to Ashwanti so that ma'am knows.
Yes, sir. Good evening, ma'am. My name is Yashwanti. I'm from BBA.
Hi,
I
Shruti.
really, hello, ma'am. I really found this session very helpful and inspiring. I enjoyed it.
Thank you,
I
Yashwanti.
thanks, ma'am. Thank you for spending. Thank you for giving your time to us.
Did you have
Okay.
any question for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
Ashwanti
Yes,
doesn't have any
I
questions.
have
She's giving
actually
you.
about the questions, Sam. Probably I can also talk about what we were discussing yesterday. You
Yeah,
did
please.
topic
Please,
was
please. Yeah.
lean startup. So one of the thing that me and Sam were speaking yesterday is about how the current trend of thinking as an entrepreneur is about scale fast and fail fast. And I don't know. I mean, I personally have been of the mindset that have your strategy right. It doesn't mean you need to scale fast or fail fast for that matter. If you have the right
Yeah.
operational thinking, you get put your thought process into that, have the right skill set, you will be able to do much more smaller steps, but right steps. And then there is a point when you scale up, right? So I had the technology being built. I did know that I'm using the cooks who are difficult to find, get them registered with the council rather than a ready-made registered chefs out there, and getting them. So it was a long strategy, but it sticked that they were with me through this period. And then we actually started in 10 markets. I mean, sorry, micro markets. When I say micro markets, it's like in very small area within the London borough. Yeah. And now we are in a situation where we are actually tested every element of challenge. I know exactly how many deliveries a delivery and a driver can do. I know exactly how much someone can spend time or do. So I think um, this helped me to plan and prepare myself for scale. So right now we are in the path where after 6 months of launching and testing out the markets, now we are going to go scaling. In the next 2 months, we are actually launching in 15 different micro markets in one go. And I'm very confident that my analysis at this moment, or the forecast and the understanding of risk, is much better than what I had about 6 months back. So I didn't scale up fast. I didn't think that after within a 2 months I need to be in 20 markets or anything. I took time, and there have been, if I calculated, there have been about 5 or 6 different companies which was in the similar business model who launched around the same time as I launched in June last year. And 90% of them has closed down now because of cash flow issue, because they didn't actually they scaled fast, they couldn't retain, and they spend a lot of money to scale fast. And the investors weren't ready yet because they didn't prove anything at that point of time, but they burnt cash because they were trying to go too fast. So going fast is not always right thing. I know a lot of American investors, actually US investors, actually speak about this term, scaling fast and failing. But I think rather than, if you be smart and because the biggest asset that the company, I mean, along with team and other things, is also the equity that the company hold. If you try to raise your fund too soon and you're going to do like, oh, I need to scale, I need like X number, you're going to give out quite a lot more equity than you believe. And within 2 years down the line, you will be fired by your own board. So there's no purpose in scaling fast if you're not ready as an entrepreneur with the idea.
All right. And before we close, can you tell that as per our discussion yesterday, you're looking for some interns and you're looking for some people who can really work, and your HR will. What is about that? Because we have very good people in BBA, in engineering. It's a very good school, and
Yeah.
I want some students to make use of that opportunity. So can we have a
Yeah.
little thought on that process?
Sure. So I'm having the core team based in UK, and eventually want to bring back some of the excellence piece, operational excellence piece out in India. So I already have my tech team, as I said, which is there, but I'm recruiting more in-house tech team, so that will come eventually soon, pretty soon. But along with that, we are also looking at marketing team. So I do will be looking at social media person or your blog writing, etc., and content development. But we are having a biggest opportunity currently where we are looking for our customer community team. So we have got now a database of about 1,000 cooks who are registered and who want to join us. And on an average, the internal team here will be able to do like 10 calls a day. And in this rate, I have two people here. In this rate, I'll take about 5 months, 6 months to complete even the 1,000. So I want to have a set of students who want to have work experience internship where they can get the experience of how to convince, how to sales pitch to these cooks, get them to join, use the technology, do the demo, etc. While also doing a little bit of customer care, because we do get customers calling up with some questions and answer them using social media and our HubSpot. So we use our CRM system. So we will be training on the CRM usage on our app platform, how it works, as well as the script on how to convince a cook. But it is about closing that you will learn soon with us in a way. So that's an opportunity that we have, but we are growing fast, and there are a couple of things. Now that I know I can reach the placement team, we can definitely be looking, discussing more.
Wonderful. One last question. Yeah, Shubha. And this is, I ask this with all the industry guys wherever I meet or I do consulting. You did your business courses, couple of business courses.
Yeah.
You studied finance. You did a lot of things. Tell me honestly, I can see a lot of things behind you on the screen, all your mapping and everything. The question is very simple and it will answer to so many students. Whatever you studied there, is it really applied in the real world? And how much did you learn by self-learning rather than the book learning? Yeah.
That's a actually very interesting question, Sam. And so when I started my career, no, to be frank, nobody in UK bothered whether I had an MBA. But as you grow more and more into your career, you will be what education gives you. And I strongly believe is you should take education as a way of giving you quick thinking, helping you that extra bit of pushing. If you think it's not about what you do in your bookish, right? So MBA, when I did my finance, though I was working as a marketer. When you reach into a head of a department or you're actually doing a P&L for a department, you need to have a financial acumen. Otherwise, you are never going to be able to do an P&L for your team, or you will never be able to understand what is the logic of. I mean, you can do from a marketing point, churn rate, but you will not know the calculation quickly enough to say how you can do your backward calculation on your probability, etc., when you come into implementation. So yes, as you're growing into your career, some of these things your teacher, max teacher, would have taught you on probability, and things will suddenly start making more sense. And it's about quick thinking of having less time and reacting and doing. So I strongly believe education helps you, but I wouldn't say that day one you're going to get. I mean, I know in India, looking at certificate or university, you get your first career break and you do, but you will not be applying it in your job seriously. It's the common sense and it's that practical knowledge that you will do. But as you grow, yes, you will see your suddenly you are remembering, and it will help you push your. I mean, I remember I had a senior team, and this is when I started my career. And she did, like, we were doing some calculation and I was doing mental math, and she was using I mean, she just took the calculator and I said, like, this is the answer. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a multiplication and then a division. And I was doing in my mind, and I said to her within a minute, and she did the calculation and she got the same answer. And she said, oh, I was just testing you. I was like, yeah, fine, I know. But that's the speed of which we, because we are practicing in India constantly and repetitively doing the max or practicing it constantly, you will see that helping you out when it comes to a practical solution or timings. But don't jump into thinking you got a low mark in your one subject or something. That's the end of it, or there's nothing further in career. Trust me, I was. If you ask my parents, I think I know my mom was somewhere in this one somewhere. She will say that I was the most difficult student, as in student, and I was never. Would never claim that I was top or anything, though I do expect my son to be. Don't tell him that. But it's more or less like it's not about how much you scored. It's about how you can actually be street smart, come out of a situation, speak, get your ways done. And I think that skill set is where you will learn more on the job of understanding and knowing how to have that soft skill built. But spend more time on that as well as an equal importance.
All right. So with your permission, what I'm doing is sharing your LinkedIn in the group in the chat so that students can connect you on LinkedIn,
Sure.
keep in touch, and then we will discuss about the internships officially, and then we'll definitely see how we can contribute and learn together. My students can get the best. And I have one quick question, and maybe I want to give a chance. I can see Professor Arundhati Das. She is just a new faculty. She joined here. Arundhati Das, ma'am, can you hear me? I can see her in the name list. Professor Arundhati Das, are you there? They're somewhere from Bengal or Assam. Okay. All right. So let's go. It's 9:50, 7:59. Can we have a quick print screen selfie or with Shubha ma'am? So as many of you who have good bandwidth, do not worry about your background. It doesn't matter. All of us are in home. Quickly switch on your cam, and this is going to be the print screen and
Just
attendance and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just before
quickly,
we finish, guys, in case after the photo, all the best for your exam tomorrow, and I'm sure you will all rock. Just concentrate and do it. I keep saying to my son, forget about what happened today's exam when you start preparing for tomorrow. Don't worry about what has gone past. Focus on future and just feel have that plan of where you're going. You'll be fine.
wonderful. And we wish that even your son who's planning for his undergrad, right, in the US.
No,
And
he's in year 12 now. I mean, year 11 now. He's gonna do 12, but we start the university admission now in UK. So yeah.
good. And we wish good luck to Ganesh sir. And just want to tell all of you that ma'am is lucky. Her husband Ganesh sir, he's from a small village in southern India, near to, in a village, but he has traveled 66 countries. His passport will be like, I don't know, and
Told
it's a
you
blue passport.
he's lucky. Why am I lucky for him traveling?
Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
amazing
so
to see how you
he's
guys have.
an amazing guy, and
Okay.
I think
So
Ganesh has
traveling.
been a very motivational for me to do my career. I mean, there have been many times in my career where it was like, oh, should I go ahead and do my career, or should I take a break or something? And he was very insistent that he wants me to do what I love to do, and been very supportive. So yes, I'm lucky in that way, not because he has traveled 66 countries.
He's a record holder, and
Yeah.
sir has a blue passport. I don't know whether people know the importance of having a blue passport. They have charter flights. They can fly with the United Nations anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
Having a blue smart passport is not a joke. My
Yeah.
dear friends, it is very motivational today. Shubha ma'am, thank you so much. Yeah, can we quickly switch on your cam, and I'll make a note of it, and I need to ensure that these are the people over there, and take a print screen and go back to your yeah. Quick, can you just switch on for a few seconds? Abhishek Reddy, are you there, everyone? Quick. Oh yeah, Sheila ma'am is there. There's a Professor Sheila who's joined. Professor Sheila, can you just say hi?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi,
Ma'am,
Sheila.
are you from
She's
Tamil
the new.
Nadu? You mentioned some Annamalai University, near to Annamalai University, you are having some restaurant like that?
Yes. So I'm a combination. My mom is from Annamalai University in Tamil Nadu, and my dad is from Kerala side. So he grew up in Kerala. So
Okay, ma'am.
yeah.
Thank
I,
you, ma'am.
I'm a no worries.
Okay, others guys, I still didn't take the print screen. It's Dr. Sheila is there. She's a faculty. Students, quick. Yeah. Sumant is there. I can only see Sumant. Quick. I can see. Oh, Arundhati Das came there. Okay. Kantaraj, yeah, vanakkam. Kantarajana, pedana. Okay, others.
Yes, sir.
Quick.
Sir. Vanakkam, sir.
Yeah, quick. Put I need to still take this thing. Yeah.
So Palam Vanakkam, no present, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. Present,
Okay.
sir.
So,
yes, sir. Present.
Sumant, can you just give vote of thanks,
Hello,
please?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi. Hi,
Sumant, can you unmute? Can you unmute yourself?
என்ன பண்ணீங்க
Sumant, you're on mute, Sumant.
சாப்பிட்டியா மேம்?
Thank you, ma'am, for a wonderful way.
என்ன சாப்பிட்டீங்க மேம்?
Okay, maybe there is some two internet issues there. And okay, there we go. Subha ma'am, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so there we go. I guess we had a good discussion. Yeah. And I really want to thank you so much that you have taken your time to give your inputs. Like during a lockdown, how did you start? How did you think? And I remember you're doing this for more than 1.5 years, and your board behind you is a proof. Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's
Just
get
launching
back
it
soon, and we
here, right? And now we are here.
and congratulations for the first anniversary today. I wish that you have more and more, and our faculty members or students will get in touch with you, and we will create that internships. And you showed us a proof that it's not about women, it's not about job, it's not about it's about mindset. It's all about what you do, and at the end of the day, that is more important. Yeah. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Arundhati ma'am, do you want to give some one word, one statement? Unmute kar lo. You can introduce yourself, where you are attending from. You're on mute, Arundhati. Yeah.
From Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. I'm basically
Navi
from
Mumbai, Maharashtra.
Yes. So I want to thank ma'am for Subha Ganesh ma'am for this informative talk. I was just looking for ideas or something like that that one can take and go ahead with their own ideas of entrepreneurship and all. And I want to thank ma'am for this informative talk.
Thank you.
All right. So,
Thank you.
Shubhaji, vanakkam, nandri, thank you, namaskar. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Yeah. So, convey our regards to everyone at home. Be safe, and